We're hitting 67% of our bets, and I've got 3 more today that you need to take. I'm Joe DeLeone here at the Sports Geek. We give out daily best bets, and let's take a quick look at the scoreboard as we went 2-1 this past Tuesday. We're going to update on the Wednesday scoreboard just because at the time of this being released, but we're 26-13-1. We've been killing it since the start of February, since we started doing these picks. But most importantly, we talk about this every single time, folks. 21-8, good for 72.4% correct on college basketball. There is no hotter channel right now at placing college basketball bets. Obviously, we all know that there's eventually going to be, we're going to come back down to earth, but still, we have been having tremendous consistency with betting on college basketball. The 3 games that we bet on Tuesday, BYU plus 8.5 versus Iowa State. They won that game. Hell of a play and performance by the Cougs. Auburn minus 5.5 versus Texas A&M. This whole freaking last week of SEC play is bonkers. It is all over the place. So we didn't hit on that one. That one was sad. Warriors plus 4 versus the Knicks. That one I felt pretty good about. That one ends up connecting as the Warriors end up knocking off the Knicks. So as I said, again, we are 67% correct, and we are going to try and go 2-1 again today. 3 games that we're betting on. We always do this on this channel. We give out bets for games that you can watch and enjoy. The slate of these Thursday games is awful. I need to know who needs to be held accountable at these broadcasting companies who thought that this slate of games was okay for people to watch. There has to be, actually, I was going to say that somebody needs to flex a better game in. There aren't even any good NBA games. There's a couple of good hockey games, and we've talked about on this channel. We're staying away from hockey in the meantime because we went on a little bit of a cold streak just because we want to stick with what's working. I digress. The 3 games were taken. Michigan State versus Iowa, Knicks versus Lakers, Celtics versus 76ers. First up, Michigan State minus 7.5, traveling to Iowa. We are taking Michigan State. We have a lot of situational trends that play in our favor. The Spartans are 15-8 against the spread, coming off of a win, while Iowa is a measly 4-8-1 after a loss against the spread. Iowa is 6-10-1 at home against the spread. Michigan State is 6-2-1 against the spread when on the road. We've bet on Michigan State before. They're a wagon. They're one of the wagons that we stick with. So we're going to keep sticking with them. We're going with them here, and it's going to come through. And then we always like to talk about rebounding and the importance of it. Michigan State, 9th compared to Iowa, who is 308th. Awful. Iowa also is one of the worst defenses in college basketball. They're 328th in points per game allowed. So that makes me feel good with such a wide margin that if Michigan State starts having success, they're pulling down rebounds, that they can pull away, even though Iowa's the better shooting team. Moving on over to Knicks versus Lakers. Lakers are favored minus 2.5. I have a feeling that this line is going to move. Get this as soon as you can. As long as it's somewhere in like the 4 or 5 point range, I would still take this. But we're taking Lakers minus 2.5. I mean, this actually already has moved. When I first saw the opening line, I think it was 1.5. And then when I checked back before we recorded, it was already at 2.5. So this one's moving quick. Karl Anthony Towns is questionable. He missed the last game against the Warriors. And the Lakers are freaking hot. They have caught fire. We are seeing what this team could be during the playoffs with Luka Doncic and LeBron James. They got hotter way quicker than I think anybody anticipated. They're also covering like a machine right now. The Lakers are 20-11 against the spread at home, while the Knicks are 14-15 against the spread on the road. The Lakers are 16-9-1 against the spread as a favorite, while the Knicks are just 3-6 as an underdog. And then lastly, I'm like shocked to discover that the Lakers cover this often. 22-15-1 against the spread after a win. And the Knicks are just 11-9 against the spread after a loss. So there is a lot to dig into here. The Knicks are fine. They're a good team. There's certainly a possibility that they win this, but I am riding a hot team with a close margin at home with the Knicks having to travel across the country. So we're going with the Lakers. Last one, Celtics minus 13 versus the 76ers. We're taking the Celtics favored by 13 points. This is one of the few primetime games on Thursday, sadly. I'm purely taking the Celtics just based off of the fact that the 76ers are such a dead body right now. The Celtics surprisingly don't cover that consistently, but we have to acknowledge here that this is a unique circumstance. This is right when the 76ers have shut down their entire team. They have not played enough games since the Joel Embiid news, the Paul George news. They don't have anything to play for. They, of course, could just stun out of nowhere, play a great game. 13 points is a big margin. It's not one that I love, and this is probably my least favorable bet that I like, but we're still going to take them. We're still going to take the Celtics minus 13 versus the 76ers. Folks, let us know in the comments, who else are you betting on? And also hit that like button and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.